Now, संदीप sabharwal, are you ready? भैया आज तो ऑफिस आ जाते हैं, इतना बढ़िया स्टूडियो है.
ऑफिस में बैठा हूँ चंडीगढ़ में.
So Diwali Puja done?
No, it's still to happen.
Okay, so normally people get their list of stocks ready before the Diwali Puja, right? That's how the tradition works. So I'm glad we caught you before the time. So what is your Diwali Muhurat list looking like? क्या है उसके अंदर?
I think there are a lot of companies we can play for. So on the contrarian side, I would think that companies like Aditya Birla Retail, which has gone through a very tough period over the last 1 year, fallen from 350 to 220, could be interesting from here on, because as inflation ebbs and there's a turnaround, normally apparel is the first segment which bounces back. So from a contrarian perspective, I would play Aditya Birla Retail. From a company's perspective, which could actually grow very aggressively over the next 2 years and has significant re-rating potential, I would say it's VA Tech Webag, where the company has been doing very well in terms of profitability growth, margin improvement, cash flow generation, and the balance sheet is now totally cleaned up and debt free. So here, I think this year there will be around 45 rupees EPS. Next year could be more near 60 rupees. Stock is still at around 550. I think this is one stock which I would think should still get significantly re-rated, and I wouldn't be surprised that if it goes to 4 digits.
I missed the last part. Hero did you say, right?
No, VA Tech Webag.
Okay, VA Tech Webag. Okay. Sandeep, you are in Chandigarh, and the reports and the indications what we are getting at this time around, it's been a dhamakedar Dhanteras. Forget jewelry stores, even companies like Bikaji and Pratap Snacks are telling us that even Bhujia and Son Papdi has been flying off the shelf. Is it true that the rural India, which everyone thought was subdued, this Diwali they've come out of the shell? Are we in for that kind of a surprise coming in?
See, this is not rural India, but I'll tell you. On Dhanteras, I went to the Tanishq store at in Chandigarh. There was not a place to stand, and I'm not exaggerating. People were queued up trying to buy stuff on that day. So Titan is a very expensive stock, but somehow I think it's caught the fascination of Indians that they just want to buy Tanishq. And I think like if I had taken a photograph and shown it to you, then you would have actually believed the state. It was like a flea market, the scenario in Tanishq.
Sale was there, right? It was not like you stand in the line, you get anything free. We're talking about gold purchase here. And it's not a purchase of a popcorn, Avan and Aisha, that you could actually see that kind of a line. So that's my limited point here, that whether it is gold or whether it is select luxury, this Diwali I think we are in for some very interesting trends going forward. So Sandeep, let's look at two heroes of the year gone by, defense and railways. What happens there? Will they become the backbenchers now, or they will continue to gain elevation?
No, I don't think they become backbenchers. I think what will happen is that one phase of re-rating was over. So from stocks which used to trade at single-digit price earning ratio, they are back. They are up at 25 times. Some are at 30 times earnings. So re-rating potential is low now. So now it's on earnings growth. And in many of these companies, earnings growth will take these stocks forward. So I think that's how people have to play it. So the multi-bagger moves could be over. Now next few years could be of steady returns.
The compounding story within financials, where is it that you think there will be that major comeback? Is it going to be the large caps that have been a little bit soft in the year gone by that will lead the way, Sandeep?
In financial, somehow I actually am happy to miss the smaller companies. So I tend to play the larger banks only in financials, because this is one segment we've seen in the past that the NPA cycle suddenly emerges. Many of the companies which tend to grow very aggressively in benign times then get into NPA issues, and we've seen the downfall of many smaller banks which wanted to become banks like HDFC Bank. I think people I would at least stick to banks like ICICI, Axis Bank, and at some stage also get into HDFC Bank, which I'm not buying right now.
Sandeep, where within infrastructure, construction, realty, because that's the one sector people are saying is going to be, it's a decade-long story, and it's coming down from a decade of downturn, which is why what you're seeing on the screen is nothing. It's going to, grow many-fold. Anything within this theme that you like?
In construction, we own two companies as big proportions of portfolio. We have some smaller ones also. One is NCC, which has been continuously doing well. This quarter results were exaggerated because of some arbitration write-off, but actually the profit growth was more than 70%. Like the company has a balance sheet where the debt is lower than what it was 10 years back. Next year, it could do an EPS of around rupees 18, and it still trades at around 150. So I think it's pretty cheap uh, relative to its fundamentals. So I think that's one stock where we could still see some re-rating. And the second one which we own is Ahluwalia Contract, which is another company which has been doing very well. One strong orders, quarterly results have been continuously good, and again, no debt on the balance sheet. On the construction side, we own these two. Real estate, now I'm a bit wary because of the extreme euphoria around it. So I would like to wait out a bit. Like we have had DLF, but then we used to own stocks like Sobha and Oberoi Property, Oberoi Realty, etc., which I have exited. So because I think the euphoria is too high, and right now I don't see the valuation comfort in this sector particularly.
Okay, Sandeep, always good to have you, and enjoy your festivities with family in Chandigarh.
Best wishes to all of you, Nikunj, Aisha, Avan, Kunal, and Nuresh, I think, and all the entire team. Have a great time.
Thank you so much, Sandeep.